you've got to have in mind that they might hold the wall. You've got to have in mind that they might edit on you. And you've got to have in mind, and this is a tough one, but you've got to have in mind that they might pre-fire you. Now that is a pretty advanced. I did that to you once, just to kind of show you what it was like, but if you pickaxe swing twice on a wall with no break, it's a really obvious timing. So against a bad player, or even an average player, no harm. But against a good player, the second someone's on the wall swinging twice, they're ready for that pre-fire before the second shot. So even if I pickaxe the wall and held it, they're actually hitting me through the turbo build because it's an easy timing. So they're the things you have to worry about when you're on a wall. But generally, main thing you've got to think about is, how can I block off some of these angles so that when I go for a wall, on whatever angle I go for it, I don't have to worry about 8 things. I just have to worry about maybe 2 or 3.
Right, okay.
And then when you are on that wall or do get it, it's just about making an edit that gives you an advantage. But yeah, I can talk about that after.
So with that being said, I feel like sometimes when I'll have that in mind, or like I'll have a third party in mind, like someone's behind me. So if I'm pressuring this box, I'll like almost like hurry and box up and then start going for it. But I feel like, and maybe this is just a mechanics thing, but I feel like it takes me too long, and then by then I've either lost sight or track of where they're at, or they've moved or boxed up to another spot, and so
so let's say if someone was boxed like I mean I don't even know, I'm just gonna reset and go over here. So if someone's boxed like there, let's say, and then you're up here and there's a third party behind you, just kind of this is just annoying, that kind of thing, to stop people from behind you,
right? Or like, and I mean, so I guess I'm saying I totally agree, or I understand what you're saying, and I should have like some kind of pre-piece before I'm attacking, but I guess how much should I worry about my
I'm not
off stuff,
talking about pre-piece from other people. So if you're talking about a different situation about third partying, then sure, you could build a box like that. Or you could build a few walls in the direction if you're box fighting, you know? If you're box fighting, it's sensible to build a box around you if there's a third party. If there's not a third party, all the pre-piece you need is to stop some of my options. So that box doesn't actually stop many of my options, for example, in as far as pre-piecing goes.
Okay. So just some.
For example, if you're going
a few blocks.
Yeah, just to narrow my edits. Obviously, that box does some stuff, because now this wall is useless, if you see.
Right.
That wall's useless because the thing's happening. And then I've got this wall for a peak, or I've got the cone for a peak, but obviously, yeah.
Okay.
That's it. So doing what you did then, when you've got a box next to you, it's super safe, it's pretty passive. I wouldn't do it every time at all, because like you said, it does slow it down. It means they can get away and they can move. Sometimes if there's a third party, it's got to happen. But if you've hit someone low and they're in a box, you just want to have some kind of piece there quick and get to kind of smacking or spraying with in mind that they might run out or edit out. So switching to your shotgun on occasion to look for a shot back or a pre-fire or you know, to catch them out is important. To kind of not be standing there with your pickaxe out, hoping the wall breaks, and then you're all good.
Right. And I do catch myself, it's a habit I'm trying to get out of, but I do catch myself like right in front of their wall.
Yeah, that's another thing.
At an angle.
Exactly. And as far as pre-piece goes, if you're smacking on a wall, you're super vulnerable to being boxed. Obviously, if you're pressed up, it's a really easy edit for them, but it's actually hard to box you, with a ramp at least, because you phase it.
Right.
But so it's always better to be a bit further back. Like you're right. But what that means is, if these 3 walls aren't there, I'm not saying they should all be, but if none of these 3 walls are here, and I don't have a top or a bottom, you're screwed.
Okay.
If you're pickaxe out. So what you should do when you're fighting, and what a good player would do when they're fighting, is they'd always try to have one of their sidewalls, not both of them, just one of them.
At least one.
And then sometimes a cone. Obviously, if you don't have the cone, you still can escape. Like, even if they place a cone or if they place a ramp, you still can escape some way.
Right.
But
got one exit.
if you want to be a bit safer even, you've got that cone, and then if they edit, you could edit the cone any way you want to block the shot and then get out, instead of maybe you're taking a bit of damage and then out. But yeah, that's... So even if someone's really, really, really weak and you were trying to pressure my wall, like, I would expect you, or hope that you, when you drop down, aren't just pickaxe out, because the likely reaction of this player who's weak is either to quick peek you, like, because they're weak and they want some damage, or it's to be like, oh my god, he's on my wall, I'm just running an edit course on this guy, or however it is.
Okay. Okay.
So if you want, we can do a couple runs of you just trying to think more about that, and then and then maybe if some small details within that aren't great, then we can look at that.
Okay. Well, and then with that being said, like,
Sure.
if you boxed up right now,
Yeah, you can just slowly go through whatever you want. We don't even have to fight.
I guess, like, I guess my thought is, I can try to take your wall here, but is there more advantage of trying to do it from up here, or it doesn't matter? And I should be like jumping around on all the different sides and trying to, I guess, check it out. Or...
Well, you see the obvious problem with this is that I can't hit your head, but you can't hit mine. So, so taking it from up here is good. Like, this is a good peak, but it makes for a really awkward edit when you do get the wall. So this wall take is normal. It's really good, and loads of people do it, and you should think about it. But what this kind of normally means is when you take the wall, you drop down and then do that. That's generally what that becomes.
So really, this is mainly, if I'm taking a wall from up here, it's just to get the wall, but then...
Mainly, yeah. And you could definitely edit here and put a cone in, but it's actually for, unless your mechanics are like... I mean, you can practice this, for sure, but like, even if you look at this, if you try and take that wall from up there, and then edit it and try and put a cone in after you take the wall too, it's just an awkward mechanic. Like, even hitting the wall is difficult, you see?
Exactly.
I mean...
Keeps hitting the top.
Wait, what part of the wall are you aiming for? Because you're actually missing out a lot.
Right.
Can you mark what part of the wall you're aiming for?
I'm aiming,
what part of the wall are you trying to hit right
almost right above my head.
Well, no, you can stand above here and like, just like, look at it, and I'll see what you mean. Like, hit, like, top left.
Oh, yeah.
Is it top left, or is it like mid-left?
Maybe I'm going too low. It's top left, but I may be...
Wait, let me see how I would do this.
Yeah, if you aim too low, it like tries to take the top.
Yeah, it's like right where it's literally it's right there where I've just hit. It's there where I'm hitting now. This height.
Do it one more time.
I don't know if you can. It's right. Wait, let me. Okay, when you have the build grid out, it's literally between the second tile and the top tile. It's in that line, like around that line. It doesn't have to be that specific, but that's the region.
Okay.
That's the region. It's just a bit lower than the top. It's not on the top. It's just a tiny bit lower. But yeah, if you even try and do that and then put a cone in, you'll see how difficult it is. You see, the edit's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, until you drop, and then the edit's obviously your normal edit. So yeah, that wall take is normally for the sake of getting it, and then you're going to drop and look for peak, generally. To make a fight quicker, depending on if they're weak or if you want to make the fight quicker, generally going for their wall on their wall is faster, because you have more of a peak on their whole body if you do get the wall. What it does mean is you're going to have to be a bit quicker to react if they jump out for height, right? Like, if they're in a box like this and you're on their wall, very obvious that this might happen.
See, that happens a lot to me, actually.
Sure.
Like, trying to track them, like, where are they? And all of a sudden they're way above me.
Yeah, so your reaction to that from this position, especially with the cone, is super helpful. It has to be like a jump and then start trying to get over them yourself.
Okay.
That's a lot about... Do you have visual audio on where it shows the footsteps of players?
Yes, I do, but I would say a lot of the times I forget to pay attention to where it's at. Like,
yeah,
I get tunnel vision.
That's honestly the main thing you should pay attention to in a fight. Almost more than where they actually are, because that really does kind of show, like, their exact position,
Right. Okay.
almost more than audio sometimes. So if I can kind of see the footsteps fading, and I hear some noise of running, I'm automatically going to do this because I've just remembered the sound cue.
Okay.
So if you just kind of keep your attention on that, I guess the next few times you're playing, just like, what does it actually sound like when someone's running away? And then what does it look like on the visual audio? And then that. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. On a wall isn't really a disadvantage as long as you kind of realize they're going up when they are. Because even if they beat you in this race upwards, for whatever reason, and they ramp your head, you do still have the ability to do things like cone and box them.
Or cone up, yeah.
Or even just side jump and try and get some kind of pump, you know? It's not like high ground is all. Generally, it's going to be easier, but you can peak from low ground and then they box up and then you're on even ground again. So yeah, playing on the wall is probably just easier generally.
Okay. Okay, and then I guess the other thing that I get like intimidated about is trying to take a wall, how many times I need to hit it, if it's brick or just my timing on stuff is really bad, and so sometimes I'll be like, all right, I got this, and I'll get like real confident, and then I realize like, oh, I've got to hit the wall like a couple more times before I get in there, and my timing's way off, and then I'm stuck.
Got it. Are you looking at the health bar generally, or are you just trying to hit the wall?
That's another thing that I get tunnel vision on, and I don't even see the health on the wall. But I had like wood is a little bit easier for me, especially with if you do one edit. I know it'll take one hit type thing, but if you're using other material, I guess. And I've heard too, like sometimes you can tell it's a one hit by like how transparent it is on your. Like, I don't know. See, like right there, I thought I should have knocked it by now, and it's still alive. But yeah, so I think I just don't have like the.
Don't have that muscle memory yet.
The muscle memory, or like, and sometimes too, like I'll box up or I'll build stuff, and then someone's already like pushed me and they're in my box. I'm like, how the hell did they do that? Like I thought I still had like time, right? And I don't know if it's because they just have a couple shots first and then go, or what they do, but yeah, that's something that I for sure.
Okay. Good thing. Good easy way to remember it. I haven't even thought about this in literally years because it does just come the more you play.
Right.
But wood is 2 swing.
Okay.
Brick is 3 swing, metal is 4.
When they're full health, right?
Or 5. Metal might actually be 5. Metal could be 5. I actually don't even know. Not often you smack a metal wall with a pickaxe. That's 2. 1, 2, 3, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 4. So it's 4. It literally just goes up by 1. And obviously, if a wood wall is half health because it's been edited, then it's 1. If a brick wall has been edited, you can smack it instantly and it goes. Okay. But yeah, it's just the amount of transparency. Super transparent, or less than 100 health, it's gone.
Okay.
So if the bar's super low or if the wall's super thin. But yeah, again, honestly, like I could tell you the exact like details, you know what I mean, of like, when it's been this many seconds, honestly, the only way to do it is muscle memory. It's the only way. Because you can't possibly do all these things at once while thinking about the amount of seconds or the amount of transparency. Like it's just not, it's not practical.
Okay.
The wood wall one is super easy though. That one is, if it's weak, it's 1, and if it's healthy, then it's 2 swing.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
And yeah, as far as the other thing you said of like, I think you said something else about getting just like on a kind of awareness check, and then you're in someone's box. That's just a decision-making thing, and maybe the footsteps will help. Just in as far as tracking where the player is to understand where they are, instead of being surprised that they're on you. Being a bit more like, okay, well, we know he's near me, so whatever you have to do in that situation.
Okay. No, that helps. Yeah, so with all that tied together, yeah, I feel like my lack of confidence with timing on pickaxing or shooting the walls or whatever. Now, and that's one thing too. So I can do, I don't know if you know what Panville box fights are.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So there's
It's
like,
very famous.
yeah, so there's the 2 layers, right? You got like up and down. So
Yep.
when I first started playing, that was the main map I played. And I feel like pretty confident with that map because I know we're on the same layer. And if not, you're one down below me, right? But then when we do a map like this that we're on, the fact that you can go up several layers, it's just like all of a sudden I'm just lost. I'm like, crap, where are they going to be? And so, anyway, that's just another.
Well, it might be the case that actually switching your practice to something a bit more realistic might help, because it depends what you're playing for. If you're playing for fun in that moment, or whatever it might be, which you should, no, anyone should,
Right.
then do whatever you want. But if you're playing for it to be applicable in a game or tournament situation, of course having a ceiling 2 layers above the ground isn't practical, because it's super easy for anyone to actually cover 2 layers of piece very quickly, and then you have nowhere to go, nowhere, because I've blocked your above and that it's very unrealistic in many senses. So yeah, if you're trying to make it more realistic, I would honestly practice differently, and that way you're getting used to your audio cues and used to the fact that when you pickaxe someone's wall and aren't ready, they are up.
Right. Okay. Which, yeah, so that's why I've kind of switched to the speed realistics. And but yes, and then as for like games and tournaments, I feel like, I mean, I'm not perfect, but I've been learning a lot about rotates, and like I understand, like a lot of the friends that I play with, they're all about just following the sound and going and getting as many kills as they can. And then when you actually do ranked or real intense games and play against good people, I mean, you're going to die off spawn if you play like that. And so I've kind of been like, you got to take your rotates and you got to play more methodically. And I've been starting to get better at that. But then it's like that one moment where I do roll up on a duo or like a squad. It's like, okay, I got this far in the game. Now I'm just gonna die because my actual fighting mechanics are trash. So
yeah, that makes sense. I think with a lot of maybe less comp experienced players have the same thing. We're actually kind of avoiding people and moving around and rotating isn't actually super hard. Like you can kind of plan it and control quite a lot of it. It's actually just when you bump into someone that it all goes wrong. And of course, that's the nature of the game, isn't it? When you've got 99 other players to beat, running into people and being able to deal with it is important. Because you can hide for a while, but even in a comp format, in a ranked or a casual format, whatever, you can't actually hide forever. And yeah, of course, there's lots of different ways with rotates to actually hide for longer and not get seen, and the little things like that. But to actually improve at the game, you just need to get better at dealing with the people you see a bit, at least a bit.
Right. And so with that being said, I haven't really done like ranked and competitions because of that. Because I'm like, I want to just hide and hope for the best. Like I want to be able to actually fight, you know. And so
yeah, well, if you are playing the tournaments for the sake of improving, as well as like, I guess it's just fun to compete, isn't it? Like, why not? Maybe you should put less pressure on doing well in that tournament for a while. Like actually knowing that you're loading into that tournament almost not to do as well as you can, but actually to get some valuable experience. And that sounds like a weird way to put it from obviously a coach who wants people to do well in every tournament. But actually, when you're starting out, if you played every tournament to place as well as you can, honestly, from me to you, the best way to do it would be to loot up like a tiny little bit of loot and sit in a bush all game, and then move to a new bush, and then play in storm for 5 minutes. But you're never going to get beyond that skill level if that's how you're treating it. It's also not fun sitting still
Yes,
for hours
exactly.
in a tournament. It kills it. It completely kills it.
Yeah.
If you're done from work or wherever you've come from in the day, and then you're like, yeah, let me queue a tournament, and then you're actually just sat in a bush hiding because you don't want to run in. You know what I mean? It just ruins
Yeah.
it. You
Totally.
might almost enjoy dying to people
Right,
than
because then it's like something different. Just sitting there.
yeah, exactly.
No, but that's true. That's the thing is I've just been too hesitant or too afraid, but I guess
You just got to know that you're not going to queue that tournament and win it.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
Not.
So you might
There's
as well
no
just
way.
try it.
There's no way in hell. There's no
Yeah.
way in hell. You're not going to queue it and get top 1,000. There's no way in hell. It's not happening. But after a few months, there's a lot of way in hell that you could get top 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
It's just never going to come if you're
if I never
not
try.
getting better. Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. Yeah. So I guess. Did you notice anything else when we were fighting? Like.
Yeah. I mean, we never ran through fighting after I explained that. Obviously, those kind of things are very practicable. It's the kind of thing that you kind of almost need to practice. But if you want to try and use some of the stuff I said, and then I can critique it and say, if you did this slightly differently, it would have worked better.
Okay.
That way you're at least going to build good habits instead of... Because I didn't explain things super in detail, it was quite general.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you could try it however you want to do it.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens. We'll see when I catch you out. And why.
Okay.
What level do you want me going at? Before I was going at like half. I was trying to match your level. I think I'll keep doing that.
Yeah, that or yeah.
Because we'll see. I mean, we can do a couple. I'll just do random shit, whatever. We'll see what happens.
And all right, yeah, and then I might have another question about
Yeah.
But,
You can ask anything whenever. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. So did you notice me going up, or have you not figured it out yet?
I kind of did, but I couldn't tell exactly where.
Okay. Maybe the more I do it, the more you'll notice the patterns on those.
Yeah.
That. That was actually good. That was really good. One thing I have noticed actually is when you go, there's two things. One is when you take my wall and there's not a cone in my box, you should always try and slide a ramp or a cone through the turbo build. Always.
Okay.
Super easy. At the same time you hold the wall, place the ramp or the cone at the same time, if there's not one in my box.
Okay.
That's just an extra layer of piece that you're getting for free. And the second thing is, when I'm above you, if you stand on that cone, this is what I saw from you. If you stand like up on that ramp, actually, it's a bit more realistic. This is what I saw you do. You see how long you see me for down here?
Yeah, I don't have.
Like
the
I'll show you again.
behind
I'll
me.
show you it again. Like you're coming out of this box because I was above, and you did this.
Okay. Yeah.
The
That's a
turn's
long
good,
time.
but that can't happen. So it's either a ramp above your head to stop that, or actually, instead of doing this kind of long drawn out ramp, a really nice way to do this, if I'm above, is to place two walls and then jump on a ramp. That's like a really good way, and it's super mechanically easy. It's something called high walls, just generally in fighting. Just placing walls one layer up, because it's a really good layer of protection. That also gives you a really nice edit. You can do it off 180s, where you're doing 290 when you're doing that up, or even if you're in front of me and I see you like here, I could place two walls down that way. Like just generally, walls are quite good. Almost better than cones sometimes to block people.
Okay.
Are we roll reversing? Ooh, here we go. Oh, my bad.
Damn. Oh yeah, I don't have shield. It's like,
Yeah, it's actually kind of annoying, but it's fine.
yeah,
I'll hit you. I'll shoot your toes. You see, no cone outside gives you problems,
yeah.
and I'm obviously there because you were down here. I can come up top. So this is one of those things. You can't prepare for every situation because it's too slow. You cannot possibly place walls around everywhere or be up here placing floors like this.
Right.
It's not realistic. Like, you can do it in occasional fights, like for a bunker sometimes. I don't know if you kind of know where they are, but the bunkers fights sometimes you can do that stuff because there's just mats nearby. But generally with fighting, if you're here, you just have to have in mind that someone can be up there, and just in your reaction time to do that.
Okay.
Because unless you're gonna block it, you know. Obviously, you could do this. I mean, you could do anything. You have a lot of freedom.
Up top. Okay.
Yeah, you have a lot of freedom, but yeah, just standing there and then not being ready for that is yeah. That's the big one.
Yeah.
Okay, you got out because you had that one wall.
Oh shit.
I don't know if you could see my footsteps there, but
Well, I did. I heard you dropping, and then I was like, I just panicked and didn't get anything in time.
okay, you reacted that time. Do you find yourself looking a bit more at my footsteps generally?
Trying to.
Yeah, that's cool.
I honestly have to like remind myself to do it.
Yeah.
Realize I
You're
don't
trying
do
to
that
break a
naturally.
habit. It's tough. Oh, you have shield. Nice. Ooh, okay, a little full piece.
I ran straight into your box though. I should have like. That's
It
another
could have
thing.
been a
Is,
safer right hand, like a.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I actually am able to piece, then my peaks go out the window and I just charge straight into the box and
Got it. Ooh, you did the wall. You didn't
Yeah,
it?
I went up
That
top.
did its job. Yeah. Also, listening for mantling cues is super helpful. 'Cause it's really obvious where you would be after a mantle. The only reason you're dead there, by the way, is because I looked at your footsteps.
Okay.
So actually from above, I don't know if I can simulate it. I'll try to. If you're in that box, from above, you can actually tell what side of the wall someone's dropping on. Because you're like this, right? So you can see my footsteps moving side to side right now.
Right.
You're like this, and then you do this. And because the color of the footsteps gets bolder, and it's in that direction, I've actually edited my wall before you've even landed.
Oh wow.
Because I'm seeing the color gets brighter there. And I'm like,
Okay.
oh, he's that side.
And then you went. Okay.
Yeah, so that wasn't even that bad from you. It was more of like you've got to be aware that people are looking for that sometimes. So you've got to look for it when you're above, and when you're dropping on a wall, maybe you have to drop down with your shotgun out just in case of an early edit, maybe.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay, there's peace happening. Okay, so this is another mistake. I don't know if you can tell what it is, but...
I was trying to get a ramp in there. You up? See, right now I can't tell if you're up. Oh, okay.
No, I didn't even move. I'm literally just trying to test your ability to read the visuals right now. There we go. We're getting somewhere. Right there, you went for the same wall 8 times. And what that does, if you're going from the same angle on the same wall, is it gives me so much time to think about and then do the edit I want to do. Because you just keep trying the same thing. It gives me so much time to figure out how I can edit on you and do it right. Because you weren't even really changing your position. Because to pickaxe this, you have to be on this side. So that's a situation where going on a different side to keep me guessing, and then maybe even going back, is not the worst thing ever. But just over and over again doing the same thing, it gives that other player like that just like 100%. I know where to shoot you. Got to be kind of unpredictable, you know. You have to be thinking about. You don't have to be a complete weirdo, but like, how can you be a bit unpredictable? So you see how even when I'm on the defensive, like that, I'm being a bit unpredictable.
Yeah.
I'm like moving. I'm moving from different edits around my box, so it's hard for you to know where to shoot.
See, I kind of knew you were going up, but I wasn't totally sure, and so I took this wall down here, saw that you went up, so I started to go up, and then boom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you're not sure, it probably is smart to just do a quick
just go
like,
up anyway.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. At least while you're figuring out what sound and visual means what.
Okay.
Like, I heard that jump, I see the visuals, I'm up. I don't know where you are, so instead of just running around in the open peeking you, I'm like being careful with my cones. Now I've found you, I'm gonna start dropping and making stuff happen. I saw you go up, I'm high-walling. I'm seeing the mantle, I'm high-walling again. No, I'll go on the defensive for your practice sake. Okay, nice guns. Ooh. You just slid right past my wall.
Oh crap.
Oh, you're my cone. I'm not sure where you are, so I'm literally building walls preemptively where your character is, like where your visuals are. I have no idea where you are that whole time, and I was just placing kind of general walls and builds just in case you were where one of my walls were. But I had that cone, so I lived. Okay, nice. Ooh. Okay.
Ooh, you got The ramp.
So you see, no cone in your box meant that ramp was easy. You didn't need one, but that's just the result, you know?
Yeah.
You can't prevent everything, but... See how I'm ready to place that wall in case? I was like, that's where he might edit. That's where that wall's going. He might hit that floor again, so I'm going to bait him. Swing. No, he didn't want to bite. Oh my god. Oh no! Sorry. That was a long fight. Not that was so much better though. Like, I wasn't playing different in that first of the other rounds, and you were reading where I was much better. Like, much better. At the end there, the only reason why I'm able to do that to you is number one, because I've just played for a lot longer. And number two is because there just wasn't any builds around you. So the second there was an awareness check where you didn't quite know where I was, there's just build after build around you and in front of you, and it's just, it just gets messy quick.
Yeah.
Like even now, you've got a problem, and I can, if I can find you. Oh, see there, I didn't know you were above me. I read that wrong. But like that's just tough. That's just one of those things. And that's just peak advantage. That's something we haven't talked about, but there's like so many different peak advantages. But if you're in a box hugging the wall, there's a peak advantage. If you're on a wall, the one you definitely know is that this is a peak advantage.
Yeah.
Or that this is a peak advantage. Swinging right. But yeah, this low ground wall thing, people don't really know, like at all. Like if you're above me and I'm under a wall like that, it is actually really hard for you to see me. And the second I jump, the only thing I can see is your head. It's so hard to miss. If you go down there and see what I saw, you're here, forced to overpeak, by the way, because you're right down there. You're forced to overpeak.
Right.
Like, you have no other way of seeing me. And then the only thing you see is my head. I'm forced to overpeak. I can't see you until I'm here, by the way.
You can't see until right there?
Nope.
I can
Not a
see
single ounce of you.
Oh, wow. See, right now I can see your torso and everything above it.
Yeah. The second you jump, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
So what you would do if someone was in that weird position is you'd probably do this and then make it a right hand, you see?
Yeah.
See how I've now made it like into my own advantage? But yeah, that's like, there's a counter to everything. It's just kind of the way anything is ever. Same way that you're a counter to a fire. There's a fire and you are the counter.
Yeah. There was something else I was going to ask you. I can't remember now.
Was it about edit advantage, peak advantage, right peak, something?
Maybe peaker's advantage. I feel like, yeah, the peanut butter edit one, I'm pretty aware of, and I actually don't do it that often just because, here again, I feel like it takes me a while to set it up, and, but I guess one thing that I want to get better at is like your blueprint edits where you're like back here and editing and shooting. Oh yeah. And what I was gonna say is I always do this, like if you're the enemy, I always open the center window and I feel like I don't know if you can see me right now.
I don't know if I can see like your character.
Yeah, like
well, I can't see you until you peek in front of the window, no.
Okay.
Impossible.
I guess kind of
any right peek sees before a left peek. Any.
Right. I do this a lot. I'll like open the window and I don't get over in time and they just shoot through the window and kill me.
Yeah.
It's a habit.
The important thing with that is actually not being in front of the window when you open it, because this action alone will make you die. That.
Yeah. They get me
well, you
every
have
time.
to. That's the only way. It's that. You have to be looking right to the window.
Okay.
Because otherwise, I'm just gonna shoot you through the cap.
Right.
But yeah, even this is like any peak where you think you can shoot first and then either build or close the edit. Because really, there's peaks like this, super good but quite basic. But that lots of peaks turn into good peaks the second it's a peak and then close the wall. Because then if I'm able to, I know what I'm doing and you don't. So if I can quickly peek and then close it, you're going to react late, shoot my wall, and then I've got another chance to either hold the wall or box you, or whatever it is.
Okay.
So there's a lot of like making nice edit and then thinking about building after it. Because yeah, a nice edit is cool, but even if I do this nice edit, you have the ability to box me through that window.
Yeah.
Or you have the ability to jump over the top of this wall. Or whatever it might be.
Right.
But yeah, the edit isn't the end of the play. I think that's a really big thing to learn now, and then have that like in your head, because this is not the end of the play. From this right now, if you're against a super a super knowledgeable player that like really knows what they're doing, if you were in that box, even if you had all the walls around you, a ramp, or sometimes players will even pre-rotate a ramp because they know you're going to right peek, but that doesn't even, most pros don't even do that. But the main thing people do is they know you're going to go for a right peek, so their movement is going to make it hard for you. They're going to move. They're going to move in a way like not around in circles, but if you stand there, you'll be, if you stand in the box, it'll be hard for you to see me at certain points. So this is where I'd go if I was trying to feed you the kill. You see almost all of me.
Yeah.
This is where I'd also go if you're trying to feed me. One thing they might do is they might actually run at you, and then you don't have a right peek anymore at all. We have a completely even 50-50. Or what they might do is they might make it really awkward, press themselves up against this wall, or sit all the way back behind this cone, and only look at your head. You can only see my head, I can only see yours. I've got just as much chance as killing you.
Right, okay.
So there's things like that that make things somewhat of a counter to the advantage peak. It's normally movement and positioning. But yeah, generally what I'm trying to get at is really important that at the end of your edit play, that is not the end of the fight. It's not like this fight is going to be won or lost through that window.
Right. I guess I have another G-Wiz question. I've noticed when I play against someone that's like really, really good, I feel like their edits and then their shots like is so fast, as in like not necessarily the edit speed, but like after the edit their shotgun pull out time and then the shot timing just seems so much snappier and faster, and I don't know if that's like just because I hit my buttons wrong and it's too slow, but like my reaction time, I feel like it just takes forever.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
As much as I think there probably are like a couple little tips and tricks, that is more practice than anything.
Okay.
Almost everyone that plays the game to a good level at least used to be in maps editing and shooting. To some extent.
Yeah.
Your shotgun, I know you're not making excuses at all, like you're completely not, but your shotgun doesn't pull out slower than anyone else's.
Okay. I guess
it's very much just like the muscle memory of click this button, then click that one, and move at the same time, you know? So it's kind of flows as quick as possible.
Right.
And they're shooting the second the shotgun can shoot.
Well, and then I guess that's part of the question too, is if you shoot too soon, is it like add an extra delay, like their timing's so spot on that it doesn't... Cause I heard that like if you try to shoot too soon,
it'll mess up your edit, if anything.
Okay.
If you try and shoot too soon, it will either mess up your edit or the shot won't happen because you're clicking a button before your shotgun was pulled out to shoot. On this ping, it's kind of a rough example, but on this ping, when I try and shoot instantly after I edit, it doesn't happen for at least a second.
Right, okay.
So on this ping, the way I would have to play is move and then shoot because there's actually a delay.
Okay.
Obviously, when you're on 30 ping or less, like you are, it's fine. Really, it's just about the gun. Because like an SMG pullout is faster than a shotgun pullout.
Okay.
So it's just getting like a tiny bit used to like And people do that at the beginning of every season. They're like, oh damn, this shotgun takes a bit of a while to shoot, and they're not like counting the seconds. They're just playing a lot, and they'll click and they'll mess it up a couple times, and then they'll get the timing down, and then they'll go from there.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely need to practice my timing. I feel like.
Yeah, just when you're running around, if you do free build, or even like you said, you were playing those Handville maps, like just run around and shoot people. I guess you definitely are, but just I guess just think about shooting them fast.
Right.
There's not much more to it. Shoot them the second your gun's ready, and then. But yeah, that's all you can really do. Make sure it's a good edit and then shoot them when your gun's ready. You don't have to shoot them when your gun's ready if there's kind of peace and you know you've got that extra second to have a better shot. But yeah, for the most part, you're going to want to shoot quick.
Okay. I think that was like my main questions, and then I guess how do you counter this? Let's say say you're over there and I'm pressing you, or like when someone's just like coming towards you, but they're like, and you're down here like, oh shit, they've got high ground on me.
Okay, wait.
My natural reaction is just like, hurry, hide, you know.
Yeah.
And so I don't know the best way when someone's pushing me and getting height. Should I just hurry and try to match them and get height as well?
Well, if you're kind of even, then yeah, you could have a little bit of a build fight and try and get layers on them. If they're 2 layers above, it's not a bad idea to box and then see what's up, because actually you don't have a disadvantage from a box to pressuring the box. It's completely even. There are just as many counters as there are advantages of attacking versus defending. So if someone is way above you and you don't want to compete with them, actually boxing up is the move. And from that, it doesn't mean you have to stay here. You're not stuck to this box. You can peek them when they come close. If they play on the opposite wall to where I'm standing, I can edit out this and make something happen for height. Whatever it is.
Okay.
You know, you're not confined to box fighting the second you drop that. But yeah, if someone's nice and ahead of you, like if I'm this level above you, of course you could compete for that. Whether it's a pump or a cone or you're trying to build, that's competable. But like if I've come out of nowhere and I'm automatically here, I'm going to get so much damage on you if you even try and peek me, because I have peeker's advantage, right hand, whatever I want, I have it.
Yeah.
So yeah, boxing makes sense, and then from that, when I do something silly like smack on your wall, or jump on your top without pre-piece, or you see an escape, or look for an angle, side jump, build up, whatever, then you do that. And
that's kind of when you're talking about
watch the audio. This is the right move though. Exactly. You can go on the opposite side, or you can look for a peek. Yeah, exactly. Literally, exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely the move if they're like above. If they're a layer or two, no bother. You just compete with however you want to compete. Get the edit course going, whatever, you know.
Okay. Okay, cool. That helps.
Yeah. I have to see how you get on. You have to just play and keep all these things in mind. I mean, most of the stuff, because it's so like fundamental, it does take time. It's not like you're gonna just get on tomorrow and be like, "Ooh, magic, everything's fixed." But it might feel better, and I think at the bare minimum, well, what something like this will do is it will make you understand why you die, instead of being like, "Oh, that guy was better than me," or "Oh, I didn't even see him or hear him." At least you've got a few things to kind of critique yourself on, like, "Oh, I could have looked at visuals more," or that edit wasn't super optimal, or maybe I boxed up too early or too late, or maybe I should have competed a bit more for something.
Right.
Because at least it gives you things to think about.
Totally.
And then it will take a little bit of time for sure, but I think all very doable and achievable.
Yeah, it's funny how just this session alone made me realize like how much I don't pay attention to the visual audio.
Yeah, it's gonna be really weird. But
I do in slow situations, or like if I'm trying to creep around or whatever. But like in like quick fights, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's where it's at, bro. It's wall hacks. It's actual wall hacks. I can literally see where you are through any wall I place. Pretty awesome. But yeah, I guess that's it. If you think of anything when you're getting on with practicing that you want to ask, just shoot me a message, and I'm normally pretty quick on Discord.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and then you give me some things to practice, and like I said, I know I have a lot of mechanics and aim stuff I can always be practicing.
Yeah.
But yeah, just some fundamentals that you taught me will help me a lot, and then
Yeah, I think that your level of mechanics and skill led you so much to be getting on with, and I think as you practice it, your mechanics will get better.
Right.
I think it'll go hand in hand.
Yeah,
Might be a sticking point.
My mechanics have drastically improved, I would say, in the last like couple months. But here again, there's so many things that I can't do very well, but I can see it. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to practice that. No, but no, this helped, and like I say, I'm sure in the future here maybe I'll sign up for another hour, and
yeah, if you've got different things to ask, go for it.
Yeah.
For your sake, if you're going to ask the same stuff, wouldn't bother, because you can just message me about it and I'll remind you. But
okay.
if you've got new things you want to do, I'd say it's 100% worth it at your level, especially just to get you in the right direction. Because you can spend a lot of time on the game and get nowhere if you want to be good, because there's just so much to do. So yeah, just let me know.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. Good luck with all of that. Let me know how it goes.
Okay, I appreciate it.
No worries. All right, see you, man.
All right, have a good one.
See ya.